Okie dokie. Right then, Paul, looking forward to this weekend's final game of the season against MK Dons. We'll talk about that in a minute, but how have you found your time here so far?
Well, it's been a learning curve, a very quick learning curve, because obviously games are running out now and a judgment has to be made on the individual players, yea or nays, as far as the next season is concerned. Pretty solid in my mind. There's maybe one or two still that I'm weighing up, but I think by the end of next week I will be giving out the whole list.
Have any particular players kind of stood out for you in your time?
I think the games we've won have been very much a team performance than an individual performance. I haven't seen what you would call a standout individual performance so far. I've seen us being well organised and committed to the cause, and that's got us results.
And with what you have seen, does that put you in good stead for next season?
Well, again, it's all about me picking moulding a squad again. It's obvious that there's a lot of players here who are out of contract, are going to move on. A lot of players here that maybe are out of contract, I'm saying that I would like to keep. So there's a lot of negotiations going on at this minute, a lot of work that needs to be done at this minute. Agents, talking to agents and sorting all these things out. But if you ask, really an outstanding performance, individual performance, no, not so far.
Obviously it's not nice getting relegated, but one advantage to knowing your fate quite early is that you can get preparations for next season underway a lot sooner than maybe some other clubs around you. So does that mean you started drawing up a list of transfer targets?
Well, obviously I'm starting to make a list up now. We've had a big powwow last week, and we'll have another big powwow end of this week. So it's just tying up the budget, making sure we know exactly what the budget is for next year, which then enables me to start perusing the market.
Obviously, when you drive into Hewish Park, you see the big pictures of Gary Johnson and when Yeovil have been promoted in the past. And does that maybe give you a bit of inspiration for next season as well? And hopefully there'll be a picture of you celebrating up there as well.
Well, we always hope that kind of thing happens. I'd like to think we'll take them down now, because in the end of the day that is the past. I think there is a place for that somewhere in this stadium. I totally agree, because it was a fantastic 2 years. Unbelievable. And what a great job Gary done. But now we're in another era, and we've got to look forward the way and focus forward the way, not remembering what happened in the past. And so we'll very slowly chip away at that to make sure that our players have got their feet firmly on the ground. We are a second division team now. We have not competed well in the first division, so we've got to get. You look at what Tranmere's done, come down, conference. We do not want any of that kind of scenario.
Now looking ahead to Sunday, facing MK Dons, last game of the season, they're in a very good position that it's going to be a big game for them, potentially to be promoted. Are you going to play party poopers? 17
goals in 4 games, I think, at home. I'm saying that, I think it tells a story. It's going to be a very difficult game. A team that are absolutely flying and really, with their performances periodically through the season, merit being going up automatic. There's still an opportunity, so I would imagine the guns will be blazing, and the fans will be right. It'll be red hot atmosphere. We've got to go and handle that to start off with, and maybe dampen their ardour as the game goes on. But as I said. It's always nice to have a real competitive edge to a game at the end. I'm very hopeful my players will respond properly and professionally. I know I'll be picking my strongest team possible, because I do feel we owe it to the people above, the clubs, the Prestons of this world, and the other people that are positioning for the playoff scenarios. And I would hate to think that we finished it with a bad taste in our mouth, but 17 goals in 4 games is a lot of goals. So, you know, and we're going to have to be top of our game.
With that record in mind, does that affect how you're going to line up the team?
I'm sure we've been very thoughtful in our away game against Swindon. I'm saying so. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not saying we're going to play that way, but you know, in the end, we're not going to be coming running out and being cavalier and charging. You know, I think that would be what you would call suicide in a way. But you know, we've got to be competitive in the game as well. There will be times we'll have opportunities, and we've got to be clinical when they come along.
You say you're going to name your line as your strongest squad to face MK Dons. Any injuries or anything like that to report?
Well, Webster will be touch and go, but Foley's out. So as I said, that's the way it looks as far as injury. We've got a couple of niggling injuries to one or two of the other ones, but I think I'm quite confident the others will make it. So you know, those two would be a big blow missing. You know, the boy Webster's done well, and I would like to think he'll be okay, but we'll just have to cross that bridge when it comes.
Okay, thank you very much.
You spoke after Port Vale, Paul, about some of your old guard maybe wanting to link up with you over the summer. Is it helpful having players that you know around you when you're rebuilding?
Well, when you're rebuilding, you've got to try and have a squad of players that very, very quickly latch on to what you're trying to put over. You know, the added bonus if you do bring one or two people that have played for me in the past, you know exactly how I want the game to be played, and that makes it a slight touch easier to get a blend and get a shape. My worry is the pre-season comes along, you know, we're bringing boys in left, right and centre, you know, looking at this boy, looking at that boy, trellis games, flipping friendlies, you know, and all that, all flashing between in front of you, and basically, you know, bedding it down in time for the first game of the season. So as I said, if there is one or two out there, and I'm not so sure at this minute it would be available, but you know, I would like to think that there'll be one or two that comes in that'll make it the transition a wee bit easier for everybody.
And how do you go about it, Paul? Do you bring in players and then build your system around that, or you sign players to fit your system, you know, that you planned beforehand?
A bit of both. I think yeah, it's deadly to try and fit players into a system. I think you've got to try and mould the players there. But saying that, anybody I bring in will be, I'll have sussed out their background and realised that what way they've played in the past, styles and systems, and very much try to get thoughtful players in that can adapt.
You spoke about getting the ball out wide and getting the ball in the box, and there's perhaps not those sort of players here at the moment. So is that the way you'd be looking to?
I think it wouldn't take a rocket scientist to appreciate if I'm wanting crosses in the box, I'm going to have to get out there and dig a couple of wingers of some sort of. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work negotiating with some of the squad that are here already, but there's a lot of work to be done as far as persuading people to come to Yeovil Football Club.
Cheers, Paul.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.